Hey, welcome to the Tolleson-Mack podcast. We are here today with Mike Maddux, the OG of Tolleson.
The most interesting man in the world.
The most interesting man in the world. This is one thing I can personally tell you about Mike Maddux. You can call Mike Maddux at 6 in the morning, 6 at night, 3 in the morning, midnight, whatever time you want to call him and ask him a question, and he's going to take the time to answer it.
Mm-hmm. I always will.
Mike, I appreciate you coming on here, buddy. How you been?
I've been very good. About you?
Good. Yeah, no complaints. We're just doing this podcast thing. Brandon's got us all lined out and lined up on the podcast game. So before the podcast, we were talking, and Tolleson's pretty deep rooted over here, right?
Very much so.
Oh yeah, pretty deep rooted. We talk about the sponsorship of this podcast goes out to Flint Farms,
Which is Mike's son, Flint Farms, Chad Maddux. Everybody knows Chad Maddux.
Everybody knows Chad Maddux around here. But the great thing about having Mike on is we signed a sponsorship deal with Flint Farms.
We sure did.
That's good. 500 an episode. Chad doesn't know it.
Yeah.
But that's why we're going to knock out some episodes today.
Chad's been on the fence about coming on. He's been kind of a little nervous about coming on, so I'm glad that you came to break the ice for him. So.
Oh, yeah.
You should have come on tonight.
Yeah, I told him to, but he said he wanted to see Pops go on first, and then he'd figure it out. So
He'll feel more comfortable.
you got to lead the way.
So let's start by kind of just talking like your story, like your family story. Where'd you guys come from? How long you been here and things like that?
Well, our family moved out here to where we're at now on 91st and Broadway in 1955. My dad was in the military. When he got out after the war, he moved into Phoenix, lived there for several years on the area of 27th Avenue and Buckeye Road. Lived there for several years. House burned down in about 1953. They moved out here in 55 and been here ever since.
And
Right there at the home place, right?
Right at the home place where I'm at now.
And that's in Tolleson.
That's in Tolleson.
Yep.
Right on the corner.
Yep.
So
Right
a little backstory before we go on. Me and Chad are stepbrothers, and this is Chad's father. So that's so you're like my step dad.
Step dad. Yeah.
Step friend dad.
Yeah.
Step
I've
friend.
known Mike damn near my whole life.
Yep, long time.
Long time.
So you've seen a lot of changes on 91st Avenue.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to change. We just got some information in the mail the other day that they're going to develop that northeast corner. There's 20 acres there. It used
Mike still grows cotton there, doesn't he?
well,
Hurley?
but it's Hurley Farms, but it used to belong to Stump Farms.
Oh yeah.
It got sold over the years. So what their intent is to put 19 acres of apartments
Oh, fuck.
and 4 acres of general use retail.
Oh, geez.
348 apartments.
Dude, the
Oh,
apartments are what's brutal. Like I get it. Like we kind of, I mean, we bitch about the heat, but
Yeah.
we live in a pretty good place. Because
Yeah.
I was just in Omaha and last week, and I landed in Omaha. 2 hours later, there's a freaking tornado in Omaha,
Yeah.
and it was just as hot as it is here. So what's the benefit in living? So I can understand why people want to live here, but it's the apartments that screw up an area. And I'm not against apartments or people that live in apartments, but it seems like that attracts a different crowd, and in a farming community, it makes it a little rough. Brandon talks all the time about he'll sell, or Chad, whatever, they'll sell a truckload of hay to somebody, and then 2 weeks later, the guy's calling them chewing their ass because there's a bunch of trash in the bales. Well, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's because they put 300 people at a bus stop on the corner of 91st and Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And not only that, you're going to have a freeway
Yep.
right behind you
Right
here.
behind
shortly.
us.
So it's going behind you.
It's
guys,
going to
right?
go behind us. That freeway is originally going to go in there 1963.
Wow. That's been going on that long?
It's been going on that long. And what it was before, it was where the 10 is now. It was going to go on the bottom side, and the land speculators bought it all up, and the state moved it north.
Wow.
So now it's coming back to the original footprint.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, after.
So you said in 1955 you 91st Avenue?
That's when we moved there.
Was the road dirt?
It was dirt. It was called River Road
Really?
back in them days.
91st or Broadway?
Broadway.
Broadway.
All dirt. Yep. Same
Where-
way with 91st.
Where'd pavement start on Broadway?
It probably up closer to 51st Avenue. Years gone by, the Broadway didn't go through it. 59th it
Right.
quit, and you had to go back around to Lower Buckeye.
Wow. Was the dairies there when you said 55?
No, there was no dairies out there. Those dairies started coming around in the early 70s.
What made you guys decide there? I mean, 91st was
Cheap property.
just right there in the corner.
The deal was my dad bought that 10 acres from a neighbor. The deal was it came with a tractor and a cow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way you negotiated in them
Hell
days.
yeah.
That's pretty
That
cool.
is
Though.
cool.
I mean, you think about it, like it'd be like driving out like Harquahela Valley, right? Like on a dirt road. Back then, it was probably like going to Harquahela Valley. It's hard for us to imagine that right now, but it was like the same thing when your dad drove out there. Like, and he was probably thinking to himself, I come from, because what was he driving then? Probably
Old pickup.
an old pickup, probably run what, 25, 30 mile an hour?
Probably 45 if you got it running.
Running downhill. But to go from 27th to 91st on dirt, dude, that's a journey.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
You know? So he was probably thinking, oh boy, we're out here now.
Yeah, my mother used to refer to it, we live out in the sticks.
Yeah.
So that was the original house up front?
It was the original home place.
Yeah. So was Union School there?
It was. It was a 4-room school.
Is that where you went?
I went there. I started in one corner in the first and graduated in the other corner in the 8th.
That's cool.
There was 4 kids in the graduating class.
Wow. Yeah, that is cool.
Majority of it was Indian kids off the
I
reservation.
was going to ask you that. Like, how was it living? I mean, you were on the res basically.
Yeah, we were a mile away.
Yeah.
Then the other kids were, most of them was farm labor kids and dairy kids.
Yeah.
But that was the extent of it. There's nobody
How
out
was
here.
the reservation back then? I mean, pretty good people? Or?
You know, they were always good.
Yeah.
They were always good. You know, had a good rapport with the kids because there was just a few of us. You get to know them.
We lived on the other side, right? We lived at 71st and Baseline, and the reservation started at 75th and Baseline.
Right there.
But we always got along with them good. I mean, I think it's a lot different now, but I think it has a lot to do with the drugs and the stuff like that. I mean, back then them guys were drunks but they were honest, good people. I mean, they were good people.
Yeah, that was their downfall.
Yeah, that was their downfall. But I mean, everybody's got a downfall.
We name it.
What did your dad do for a living?
My dad worked. He did several things, but he went to school when he got out of the army. They put him in school, the GI Bill. He was a saddle maker.
Really?
He did saddle work for Porter's Leather back in the day, and then he also did all the saddle repair and tack repair for the sheriff's department posse.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So when I was
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
yeah,
Cool.
so when I got home from school, when I was in high school, it was not uncommon for the driveway to be full of sheriff's cars. So sometimes I wondered if I really wanted to go in there.
Yeah,
Didn't know if you got caught for what you were doing.
If they were looking for me or they're getting their saddles fixed. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I never knew that.
Yeah. Then he retired.
Yeah. And your mom? What'd she
My
do?
mother always worked in the food service. She was an institutional cook.
At the school, right?
School. Then she worked for the jail system for several years. Then she went down to the casino and worked. That's where she retired.
Yeah. Her last years when she was alive, I spent a lot of time with her on Sundays. I'll go into Robbins and stuff. And I had a lot of good conversations with her. Me and her got along, and she was witty, man. She knew what was going on.
Yeah, she was sharp to tack to the end.
She was. Yeah. She was a lot of fun to talk to, and I'd go there every Sunday, and man, we would always bullshit for 2-3 hours, and she was a nice lady to me.
She always had a good story.
Yeah, she did. But that's the kind of stories we need on the podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly. Some of you wouldn't want to put.
And she'd tell you the truth too.
Oh yeah, she was not afraid of the truth.
No, you're gaining a little weight, boy.
So we always ask everybody, like all the progress and stuff like we ask you, but I have a kind of a weird question. What has came to Tolleson and left Tolleson that you wish would have never left? Like I would say Seamus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There, and we, Saguaro
Oh,
restaurant.
yeah,
The restaurant that was where everybody went to Saguaro.
Everybody, man, at lunch we'd go over there.
Go over there and eat an old tamale shop.
yeah.
Those were
yeah.
good. There was good eating places where you could sit to have lunch with the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just very nice people. But that used to be in the years gone by. That was supposed to be called the vegetable capital of the world. It was Tolleson. Melons, melons, cantaloupes, things like that. Carrots, a lot of potatoes, and lettuce. That was the big thing. At one point in time, the railroad tracks was nothing but packing plants between 91st and 99th, and almost all the way to 83rd.
Well, that's where your grandpa's shop was, right?
Yeah, well, he was a little
On
bit
the backside of the high school.
Yep, a little bit north of there. Yeah.
Then they had a big Crystal Ice, had an ice plant there, and they made all their own ice, and they would take it and it was in 500-pound blocks. They would take it to the packing plants, and they had grinders, and they'd grind that ice and blow it in the cars, in the railroad cars, and in the back of trucks, pre-refrigeration.
So what do you think changed that? I mean, they're still growing a lot of veggies.
Not as much around here as they used to.
So
Most of that's all gone.
I don't even think any plants are open anymore.
no, I don't think so.
They're all gone.
I remember back in high school, we we went there one time and we filled the back of our truck up full of ice, for our soda pops for that weekend. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And we stacked our cases of soda pops, all through there. We put
A lot of
we had a
Dr.
lot
Pepper.
of fun back there in the day with the. And you went to Tolleson High School as well?
I did.
Yep.
You'd blow that ice in the back of your pickup, and that was a mobile ice chest.
Yep, it was.
It was.
Remember when the land lab was out there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, on,
Yep.
the, on the west side of the school.
But all that's gone now. Look
all
at
of it.
Agua Fria. They don't have anything
Nothing.
anymore.
No,
It's all
no.
gone.
I was 2005 was the last year they had ag.
Yeah.
I was it 2005.
They don't even have ag there no more?
Nope.
No, it's
Really?
all gone.
They still have ag at Buckeye.
Yeah.
My daughter's in the ag.
They,
over
they
there.
better keep it. I mean, I can remember Chad will vouch for this story. I was on 8th grade and I snuck in.
That's never a good start to any
That's not a
story.
good lead line. Now.
I snuck in and ate lunch with Chad at school because I lived right next to the high school. Snuck in, ate lunch with Chad. The bell rings, and then I snuck back out and went back home. And then one day he calls me. He goes, "Hey, I have a substitute teacher. This is honest God truth."
No.
I went inside the classroom. And Chad knows it's true. Chad knows the story.
I don't think you ever heard this story.
Yep. So
We should have held that story for ransom. We could have got
Yeah,
more than 500 in
exactly.
it.
So I went in there and I Chad, he said, "Come on." And yeah, me and Chad, we had a lot of fun in high school, a little bit too much sometimes, but it was fun. Have an older brother, I could do no wrong, ain't nobody mess with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear what Nate Diaz said? I seen it. They were interviewing.
Oh, about getting bullied?
Yeah.
He said, "I got an older brother." Yeah. I didn't get bullied either.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
Not a lick.
They said, "You ever been bullied?" And he looked at that guy and he goes, "I got a brother."
Yep. I had Mark Spradlin and Chad Maddux. I didn't have to worry about shit.
Yeah, nobody's gonna pick
To
on
the
you.
bigger boys.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody's gonna pick on you. Yeah. So, what else is going on, Mike? I mean, this growth is crazy. The traffic's got to be killer to you. I mean, I come through there 8 o'clock at night, and 91st and Broadway looks like I-10.
It does every day, and especially now that school's back in session, it's backed up a mile to the east in the morning and a mile to the west in the afternoon.
What year did you see start seeing a change, like just the traffic and stuff like that? I mean, I could imagine even right here on Southern. When I get to my bridge right here, I gotta look both ways now. I remember there wasn't a car. You know what I mean?
Like you just roll out of this
Yeah, I
place.
didn't worry about it.
And
I'm gonna say probably 2000, about 2000, we start to see some changes.
Yeah. And that's about right. Me and Dusty, when we started, was 2004, and we started for Rummel, and we were a little behind the times. So like 2000. That was about it. But are you gonna stay right where you're at, or?
Well, it depends. It just depends on some things, what my property's worth, what they're going to do with the rest of the area there. Right across the street there, that's bound to be homes in probably another year. That's already zoned for it.
Where you got the hay? Where the
Yep.
hay is?
Yeah, across the road there.
I have that. We baled that hay and we stacked it right there on the side of the road, and not even a day later it catches on fire. And I mean, it's just tough anymore. It's just you know the story around there. It's just tough. And it ain't just there. It's everywhere.
Right.
I mean, it's this whole valley.
It's the
anymore.
going thing.
Yeah,
There's no place to get away from it.
it ain't. Yeah.
And you talk about, the change, you go down to 51st Avenue and Baseline now.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the biggest changes I've ever seen in my life.
I can
From Cheatham Dairy over there on the corner of Rock Dairy, where they farmed everything with horses. With horses, now you see just buses and homeless and just just
I'd
ridiculous.
leave. We farmed from we had the reservation for a while. Then our shop was at 71st and Baseline, and we farmed all the way to the other side of my grandma's to like 19th Avenue and Baseline and up to Dobbins. So all through there, right? Us and Stevie and all them guys. And there was, I mean, I can't even count how many times pull out of there with a Freeman 370 baler, go down Baseline, and I don't think I passed a car till I got to 51st Avenue.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it was like a 2-lane road. I just cruised. I mean, I was 13 years old. I would never send my 15-year-old daughter on a tractor down the road now.
No way. What about like 107th and Broadway? I mean, looking back now, I mean, they had Crows, you had Odals, you had Van Hofwagons. There was 3 dairies on that one corner.
Yep.
Just in that one corner.
Yep.
Well, we used to call Broadway Dairy Row.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
What it was.
I mean, and you're one of the rare people that have seen when it was nothing to dairies back to nothing to I mean, you've seen it from dirt
Yeah.
to dirt
Yeah.
to back to dirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
what happens when the market collapses.
Yeah. And
But it's coming back again. We'll see how long it lasts this time. But, remember back on that corner over there, that southwest corner was the little desert.
oh yeah.
And that was that was Indian artifacts when I was a kid. You were still humps there of graves. And you go down there and see where people had dug, and you'd find shards of pottery, find a horse's head, all different kinds of things that was buried with them.
Yeah.
And you could walk those cotton rows after they irrigated, and you could pick up all types of different pottery had washed up. But I often wonder now how many little kids wake up in the night with bad nightmares when they see Indians in the bedroom.
Yeah. That's what I tell them guys all the time when I do these pre-wed jobs. I said, I'm gonna throw these Indian ruins around here and slow this job down a little bit.
Yeah, that'll stop them.
Yeah, it will.
It's way slow them down for
Oh
sure.
yeah, they found some on us one time right there at 75th and Baseline.
It stopped.
Ceased it, boy.
It stopped them.
So did your dad, did he originally own the corner? The whole corner?
No,
Or
that
you guys had the back part
yeah,
too,
we had
right?
it was a big L went down to where
those trailers are.
where basically the compost is now,
Uh-huh.
and we ran across to 91st Avenue and then back up. It was a 10-acre L. Then the gentleman that lived there and his family, his name was Abel Vigil.
Oh yeah.
But the road 91st used to actually dogleg. It went over probably 100 yards to the east. So when you did that, you went over and doglegged over to continue west, or excuse me, south.
Where that little field is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where that pump
Oh,
house
Where
is.
that pump house is.
Yeah.
now.
That's where the road originally went.
I haven't heard that name, that guy. I remember him. He was a big, tall man, wasn't he?
His name was Eddie.
Yeah,
He was,
Eddie,
he,
yeah,
he was
okay.
he was the boy, son.
Yeah. What happened? I mean, I know he passed away.
He had a
but
stroke and passed probably 7-8 years ago now.
he lived there in that area for a
He
long
did.
time
He
too.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was over the road truck driver.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
Good people. Very
Yeah.
good people.
What about talk about Stumps?
Yeah, Stump had a big place there forever. Their place was down on the river in 91st and all the way up to Lower Buckeye and 83rd Avenue. They had all that property. Then north of that, all the way from Lower Buckeye to 83rd Avenue was the Snake Ranch.
Yep.
That was another big ranch there, hay farm, and did a lot of different farming in there. Then they ended up getting bought out and
Yeah.
took it apart.
Then the Boschmans moved in, and
Boschman's moved in.
you got to. I mean, you know them all. There ain't nobody that you don't know around there.
They're all newbies.
Yeah, that's
They're all
true.
newbies.
What year was it, or what couple, around the year was it that you guys all started saying, man, these houses are coming? Because like right now we're out in Palo Verde and we're saying what these guys said a while ago, like, hey, these houses are coming because they're building Buckeye out,
Yeah, well, that Buckeye was my original go-to. That was going to be my getaway, but they jumped over me, and that's where they back now. There's no place for me to go there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Buckeyes. I mean, there's more going on out there than there is in here now because we about got it all built up around here. I mean, there's nowhere to go anymore around here.
Yeah, Palo Verde, they built a bunch of big custom homes down the road from my house, and I just seen on Zillow one's on there for 1.6.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they're getting big money for them houses
Yeah.
out there now.
Don't you have a place? Didn't you buy an acre out there?
I did. I bought a place at White Fence
Yeah.
out there, and I sold it.
Oh, you did.
I sold it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kept
That's right
18
across from Ed
months.
Oliver. He still lives
Yep.
there.
At Oliver in Beaver Place.
The Beaver.
Yeah, right south of there. Yeah. John Beaver. What I know we was talking a little bit about he likes to collect cars. He has what do you got now? You probably 2 or 3, 4 of them.
No, I got a few.
5 or 6.
I wish 4 was a number.
Yeah, how many you got now?
I got 3 Model A Fords, a 40 Ford Coupe, a 72 Ford pickup, a 47 Studebaker pickup.
And a motorcycle?
Sold it.
Sold a motorcycle?
It didn't have room for it.
Yeah.
No more room in the house in the bubble.
Yeah, couldn't take this one in the dining room like I had my Indian.
Yeah, he has
I remember
Indian.
that. Yeah.
He has a hell of a nice shop over at his place. It's something block, and you put AC on it. I heard.
Yeah, I did.
Hell yeah. No, we went over there. It's really nice. He always loves. That's where Chad gets it from. He has to have his toys. He has to have. I mean, Chad has 3 of the nicest semis out here, and that money can buy, and I know where he gets it from now.
Well, and not only money can buy, but he keeps them that way.
Yeah.
It's one thing to buy nice shit.
Mhm.
It's another thing to keep it that way. And
That's
that
the hard
dude,
part.
Yeah.
I don't know what you taught him, but you must have gave him a bottle of Windex and a roll of paper towels when he was a baby, because that dude keeps shit clean.
How do you think I kept my stuff up?
Yeah.
He was my valet.
Yeah.
Because, man, he keeps his stuff so clean. I was sitting in 25, 35 eating breakfast this morning with Duck, and I see the Flint Farms truck go by.
Spotless.
That's just shining
Oh,
like
yeah.
a diamond.
He's got me a lot better because I was never, I just we rolled with it, and he's over the years got on my ass enough, and now I'm trying to vacuum my shit out a little bit more, and
That yellow squeeze looks pretty good.
well, I got it from him, so I'll tell you something. So no,
Well, it costs too much to replace
That
it.
ain't
I
no
take
lie.
care of it.
yeah, yeah.
Takes too much.
That's for sure. So do you, in your heart of hearts, where's it gonna be? Where are you gonna move? I know you're gonna move out over here.
Well, we had two choices. One of them was Boise, Idaho, where my daughter Lauren lives. And then my second choice was Guthrie, Oklahoma, which is basically I have a daughter there as well. And it's
Where we
like
went?
Yep.
it's like Prescott, but about 10 times larger.
Or Edmond, right?
I have a daughter lives in Edmond.
Yeah, Edmond,
This one,
yeah.
Guthrie's about 40 miles north.
Yeah,
where we went.
Yep. That's where we stayed in. Where we went. That's where we ate that barbecue was in Edmond.
Oh,
And
okay.
Guthrie. That's where the Lazy E is. There's that big open arena there. And
We loved it.
It,
It was really
it's,
nice.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
And it's still affordable if a guy wants to buy
Yeah.
a place there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool over there. Everybody's friendly.
Yeah.
That's what I get from Texas too, though. I mean, like when you cruise around Texas talking to people, like you pull in somewhere, like when I'm over there, I'll pull in those places that like sell flatbeds and shit just to
Yeah.
be nosy to
Yeah,
see what it
yeah,
costs over there.
yeah.
And they'll just talk your leg off. They just
And where
No
you
pressure.
no.
I mean, I know you don't work there no more, but you used to work at a place called Interpipe.
Yeah.
I remember
WI.
Interpipe because I just remember that name,
Yeah.
Interpipe, for years. We went down there, but
Yeah, I left that place about 13, 14 years ago now, and I'm with a company called Interstate Truck Bodies. Basically, do the same thing. So I've been in this line of business since 1989.
Wow.
Still buying and selling equipment.
Yeah, you were always our go-to guy on the water trucks.
yeah. Well, that's where Chad gets it from because Chad, every time I turn around, I bought a trailer and then it'll be gone, and then he buys another truck or trailer, it'll be gone. Like Chad, he loves doing that stuff. He loves to make a deal.
Yeah.
That guy loves making a deal. It don't even have to be money involved. He just wants to make a deal. He loves that stuff.
Yeah.
I get too attached to it, and I think I'll never be able to afford another one. You know what I mean? So I keep it, hidden.
I tell him all the time. I said they're just tools.
Yeah,
That's
They're
what
just
I
tools.
tell him too.
You make sure your kids and your wife are fine. The rest of the shit's just tools.
Ways to make your money.
Yep.
yeah. You fly all over the country and go to truck shows and
Yeah.
farm shows and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And we were in California one time, and we didn't even know he was there. And we were in the airport, me and Chad, and we look over, and there he was. Remember that?
Going to the same place, just
Same place.
yeah,
Hanging out.
yeah.
Huh.
That Tulare Farm Show, that's something a person should see.
Yeah, I think if you've never seen it, I just went to, like I said, in Omaha. It was for it's called AMP, American Association of Meat Processors, or something like that. But we bought a whole bunch of equipment this year, and they used a bunch of our equipment as display there.
Very nice.
So they had us come up and they like showed us how it ran.
Sure,
and operated,
absolutely.
Put on little shows and stuff for us, and that was pretty neat. Because the only other thing I'd ever been like that was Tulare, and it was tractors and
Yeah,
farms. And
yeah.
but so when we were leaving there, my wife's like, "Well, do they do anything for like this for farms?" I go, "Yeah, they do Tulare." I said, "But it's about 200 acres, not
Yeah.
it's not in a convention center."
No, it's-
Golf course.
that thing's cool.
It's all outside walking,
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Back in high school and all your buddies and stuff, is there any of your old buddies that you still communicate with or have any?
The only one I keep in touch with is Danny Quinones.
Okay, that's
And
your neighbor.
It's my neighbor. He's been there. They were there when we got there, and we've kind of kept our relationship. Our families have grown together, and
That's cool.
we keep in contact.
He's an awesome man. He's
Yeah,
really
but most everybody else is gone. They've moved out of
Yeah.
state or passed or whatever the case.
So
may be.
Danny's been there a lot long too.
Yeah, they were there probably since '48.
Wow. What did his family do?
His dad was a farmer. He actually did custom farm work. He was a labor contractor.
Okay. Yeah, I farmed their field. Yeah,
Yeah.
right there behind their house, and they're an awesome family. Awesome family.
Very, very stable.
Yeah,
Very good people.
yeah. Quinones. I went to school with their kids, and so your kids went to school
Yeah.
with them too, and yeah.
Well, real quick, don't throw rocks at Boise. Boise's fun too.
Oh, that's a very nice place.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Where's
Really?
Lauren? She's in Emmett.
She's in Emmett.
Emmett,
That's
yeah.
about 40 minutes outside of
Yeah, it's
Boise.
beautiful. I've been there.
Big Valley. What their claim to fame is hay and fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boise has the blue football field.
Yeah.
Boise State.
BYU. Yep. Yeah.
Boise State. Yeah. We went through there. I was with Andy one time. We went down there, I don't know, buy hay or sell hay or something like that. And we went over and ate around the college, hung out over there and had lunch and stuff by the college. It's a cool place.
It is. There's a lot of stuff to do.
I have a friend named Tanner that's there. He works like on these big chip plants, like that one they built up north. He works for the guy that runs the batch plant for the concrete. He's their like lead mechanic, so he goes all over wherever they're at. And he's in Boise right now. He'll be there for like 6 months, and he sends me pictures all the time. It's pretty.
It's beautiful there. The winters gets cold,
It gets cold.
but
It
the
gets hot
summers,
here.
the summers are nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I seen the party you had last party you had at your house. I forget what it was for. It was your birthday.
My birthday.
Yeah, and that's when I seen Parker.
Yeah.
I can't believe how big that boy is.
That
He's a
boy-
grown ass man now.
That boy's leaving in 2 weeks to go on his
Mexico, right?
Mormon mission to Brazil for 2 years.
Brazil. Oh, he's grown up. He's
Yeah.
last time I seen him, he was a little boy. Now this kid is. I mean, Jimmy Inman's his dad, and he is a man.
He's a big man.
Yes, he is.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's going on his mission over there, and I think that was like perfect for they're outdoors people anyways, and Idaho's about perfect for him.
Yeah, it worked out well. A lot of hunting, fishing. They do a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, this won't be the first time I've ever asked you for this, but what's the best advice you could just give somebody in life?
That's a good question. I need to take back my own advice. It's hard. Things have changed so much. It used to be, just go to work, show up every day, make a point, that you're going to be there and show them that you're going to do your job and basically protect your job. But now nobody cares. 3 days a week, that's good enough. That's all I need. Why don't you work 5 days? Well, I can make it on 4.
Yeah.
So that's the new catchphrase. But to answer your question, just be a good person. Be respectful. Listen to people when they talk to you. They may be telling you some life-changing words. You're just too damn smart not to listen sometimes. But I've always tried to listen more than I've talked, so I could pick up people. Things wiser than you. You always hear this story. When you have a business or you're a manager. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. They'll teach you a lot of stuff and they'll make you good.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I've always thought about it.
And as long as I've ever known you, you've always been pretty much just no bullshit, straight shooter type of guy, and there's no really funny business with you. Everything was just straight as it gets, and we always joke about calling you the most interesting man in the world, like that commercial. But in a lot of ways, you are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you've seen it all.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff.
You've seen it all.
Seen a lot of changes.
And I've been a lot of places and fortunate enough to see a lot of stuff that a lot of people never see.
You went to Alaska one time, and you brought me back a knife. It was like one of them,
skinning knife.
There you go, and I still have that thing, and I remember that.
Well, we all need to get together next year and go fish, and you can buy me one.
There you go. Me and Chad, we always talk about it, but we got to pull the trigger one of these times.
Yeah, I need to do it next year. Make the plans right after Christmas and do it next year.
We and Chad always talk like we talk about all this stuff, and I told him, I was like, man, we need to do it, because. We talk about it, but sometimes life happens, and you know what I mean, and you just gotta do it.
I think you just have to leave for the airport.
Yeah,
that's it. If you can get in your car and get headed to the airport, it's like you get a different mindset.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to do it. But if you stand around here, him-hawing around at the shop, or like us, same way, we're him-hawing around at work, and it's like, oh, I can't do it. I can't leave. But if you get in your car and start headed to the airport, you're like, God damn, I'm gonna have a good time. Because I will 100% tell you I did not want to go to Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And my wife kind of didn't drag me there, but said, hey, we need to go. We need to meet these guys. And the minute I started headed for the airport, it was just different. I was like, oh, shit, that's nice.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
For your own good.
Yeah, and it was cool. And I went there, and I got to do what you just said. Just sit back, kept my mouth shut, and listen to them guys teach me how to run all that stuff, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
And, Chad, being here every day, and we have totally separate companies, and everything's totally separate, but, having him here and vice versa, his squeeze goes down, I got mine, or I need help. And it's been kind of a blessing, because when my grandpa left, I always had somebody here, and, I was kind of on an island a little bit, and I was a little bit, it's a lot going on around here. And it's been, me and him, we've been brothers for forever. So
and you're friends. Yeah, that's important.
Yep, I have I tell everybody I got 2 half brothers and 1 real brother. So that's how it works.
That makes it.
Yep.
People question that, don't they?
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, I'll back it up, because these two argue like real brothers.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I
And then-
don't know what he's doing parking that shit right my way. and then Chad will pull in. I don't know. These guys got to run through here, stirring all this dust up, and then I'm over here wiping my trucks down.
Oh yeah, he don't like dust. I'll tell you that. He don't like fucking dust. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, shit,
Well, it's we're me and my wife we're kind of actively looking and stuff, and I told Chad, I was like, man, if anybody had this place, I want it to be you. You know, he like I told you on the phone.
Yeah.
He has his name in 2 or 3 spots in the concrete around here. He's been around here just as long as I have, and you know, it's this place has been in my family my whole life, and I just don't want anybody to have it. You know what I mean? And we put a scale in, me and him now, and I told him I'm gonna make this place too good where you can't leave now. So it's gonna almost force him into it.
Yeah,
So,
tie you up in it.
yeah.
And force his hand.
This might be your bedroom right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, me, I'll be living in here.
There you go. There you go. Well, we got a good air conditioner. In
Yeah.
It's coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, all right, Mike. I appreciate
Yeah,
you
well,
coming on, buddy.
Wanted to
Appreciate you guys.
have you on and talk about kind of the West Valley. We got some Buckeye guys coming and
Good. Good.
stuff like that, and you're the Tolleson Connect. You're the guy that's seen the whole revolution. When Pete start?
Pete started in the 40s
yeah.
as well.
Really?
I remember when going
Yeah.
to Pete's when I was a kid. It was you could actually go in there and sit down. There was a counter inside.
Really?
You went in one door and sit out
At Tolleson?
and you came out the other side.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a sit down.
Man, remember how good the bean and cheese burritos were at that Soros?
Oh, that was the best one. The green chili was
Oh,
always
yeah.
my favorite.
Oh, the green chili. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, buddy.
Yeah, Mike.
We'll
Well,
let you
appreciate
get
it.
out
All
of
right,
here.
thank you
Yep,
guys.
yep,
It's good.
Hey, you want to go to Guthrie? You need an excuse. We'll go with you. I'll make
Yeah.
this guy.
All
go.
right, well, we
We
won't
love
need
it
much
over
of an
there.
excuse.
All right, buddy.
We'll
All
see
right,
you.
we'll see
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, guys.